Yoga sucks. Punchalates is the new trend.
Hello, Julia. How are you?
Hi, good. How are you?
Good, good, good. Awesome. Congratulations on Chosen Family arriving in theaters and on demand October 11. Oh my God, I'm geeking out right now. I'm such a huge fan of yours.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Big fan of Dexter, Save the Last Dance, Bourne franchise. So I assume you had been good friends with Heather for a while. That's why she cast you to play her sister in Chosen Family. Is that what happened?
No, I mean, I sort of knew her a little bit socially, but not, we weren't like, yeah, I'd met her a couple times and I knew her body of work. She sent me the script and I was really excited to see her direct it. And I also thought it was a really fun script and a fun part for me too. So people don't usually think of me in comedies, but that's what I love to watch and I have fun making them. So I was really excited that she saw me in the role.
Now, you've worked with so many notable directors over the years, including Doug Liman and Paul Greengrass. Is it a different dynamic when working with an actor turned director like Heather? What was that dynamic like on the set? Because not only did you have to react to her in a scene, but you're being directed by basically the person who is the boss on the set. How does that work?
I mean, it's really impressive to me that she was able to be in every scene and also be directing the film. But I never once felt in a scene that she was sitting back watching me and critiquing me as a director. I always felt like she was in the scene too. And she was just really generous. Like she wrote a great script, had a clear vision of what she wanted, but was able to communicate that very kindly and then also was very receptive to what the actors wanted to bring to each role. So it was fun. It was very fun to go to work every day.
Okay, we got to talk about Pancholatis. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
What a mix of kickboxing and Pilates. That scene in the class just cracked me up. Did it crack you up too when you first read it on the script? What exactly did Heather have in mind about this whole Pancholatis thing?
I think so. It did crack me up. I think the point of it is that Heather's character Anne has put all this work into a career as a yoga teacher, which does take training and time and effort, and nobody cares in her family. And then her younger sister Cleo comes in and is a hot mess and decides that she's going to steal some of her older sister's thunder and invent her own exercise routine, but doesn't put any effort into it. It's just this sort of visceral mess. But that being said, it was so fun to do Punchalates because it is just this sort of like, you know, visceral way to express and get out your own rage. Like, it's kickboxing meets Pilates, but it's really just Cleo, grunting and punching the air and pretty silly, but if I could get over my own self-consciousness, I would definitely go to a Punchalates class.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you seem like the type of person who does aerobics, yoga, and Pilates, right? I mean, would you be open to the idea?
But see, I'm so used to as a dancer doing it in a much more regimented way, and it was so wonderful. That's what's so great about Cleo. I mean, she's ridiculous, but it's great that she um, is so not self-conscious.
Every family has a Cleo, don't they? That one sibling who can't get their act together. Let's just put it that way. Do you have a
Yeah,
Cleo in your family that you kind of model this
I
character on?
there's no way. I wouldn't be able to show my face at Thanksgiving if I start talking about my family right now. Heather was very open about saying that this was very much based on her own family, but I think what's so great about the movie is that she sees it through a comedic lens. So they're heightened characters, and I think even if you come from the perfect family, there's still so much that's relatable about this movie.
Now, that's my next question, much of a deeper question, if you will. I'm wondering, where does it begin and where does it end? That, you are your sister's keeper. We heard that before, but where does it begin? Where does it end between, yes, I will take care of my siblings, and no, my siblings would need to take responsibility for their own lives?
Well, I think that's sort of the message, or one of the discoveries that Anne has in the film is that she's been so like guilted into looking after taking care of her sister that it's at the sacrifice of her own well-being, and so she's kind of having to establish these boundaries with her family. But also the title is that she recognizes that actually it's her chosen family, it's her friends and her close friends that are really the ones that support her and see her and are there for her instead of being demanding like her um, actual family.
Very well said. I only have a few minutes left with you, but I can't let you go without asking you this. I will beat myself up if I don't ask you this. Julia, as you know, I'm a millennial. I mean, this year marks the 25th anniversary of one of my favorite teen rom-coms of all time, 10 Things I Hate About You. It holds a special place in my heart as a millennial. So, number one, thank you for that movie. Number two, before this year ends, which will happen in a couple of months, were there any plans for some type of reunion party with the entire cast to celebrate the 25th anniversary, or are you guys all too busy with your own projects?
Oh, there have been a number of screenings that they've had at like landmark theaters in Los Angeles, and some anniversary screenings and Q&As, and I've actually really wanted to participate in them because I want to be reunited. Like I want to see some of the cast again. But I just finished directing my own film, and so I've been in this like complete bubble of very hard work. But yeah, maybe hopefully there'll be more. And thank you. I mean, it's great. It's really special to be a part of a movie that people are still moved by.
That's why, next question. Why do you think the impact of that movie has lasted this long? Why does it still resonate with so many fans after all these years?
I mean, I can only say what is exciting to me about that it still has a life 25 years later is that 25 years ago, when I was 17 and I was, or I guess a little bit longer than that, when I was auditioning for the movie, I was a 17-year-old still trying to figure out who I was. And the feedback as I'm an auditioning actress is like, you're too serious and, lighten up and all these things that I found really disheartening. But when I read Kat in 10 Things I Hate About You, I thought she was so refreshing in terms of how unapologetic she was. And I think that that's something that audiences have grasped onto. So it's just an affirmation that like I wasn't totally on the wrong track.
Thank you for talking to me. And for my fans at home, everybody go check out Chosen Family, arriving in theaters and on demand October 11. Julia, thank you and congratulations.
Thank you. Nice to talk to you.
Yoga sucks. Punch Pilates is the new trend.